Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm doing something a little different than what I've done for the past 2 months. Today I am doing a story time video. Yay! I did a poll on Instagram asking my friends, would you rather see the most random vlog of all time, which is still gonna come out, or would you rather watch a story time of how I quit my job? And 99% of people said how I quit my job. And the reason why I think that story is worthy enough of being a storytime video is because of how abysmal the ending of my job relationship was and what it took to get me to that point. Because I didn't just quit, bitch, I walked out. And I do not recommend that to anybody. That behavior is 90% of the time unacceptable, but they literally pushed me to it and I still don't regret it to this day because I think they deserved it. So yeah, let's start from the beginning of the story. So let's do what is it called at the beginning of a book? It's not the intro. The prologue? Sure, the prologue. So I started working at a company, retail store. It's like a brand name company. I'm not gonna say any names or brand names in this video because I don't want to get sued, but I'm allowed to tell my story. This is my own first-hand experience. I'm just trying not to get sued. And most of you probably already know what the company is because I would post about it. I will name names to the one I worked at before that because this has nothing to do with that. I used to work at Aeropostale in my hometown at the mall. And the reason why I started working at the mall when I was 20 years old was because I dropped out of university. So I went to, it starts back, guys. It starts back. We gotta go to the beginning. I started college at Northern Arizona University. I got through a year and a half of going to NAU before I gave up, really. I like to say I failed or I dropped out, but neither of those things are really true. I never properly dropped out. I just transferred, and I say I failed, but I failed literally 1 or 2 classes. So I was not on a roll here. I was not in the right headspace to be doing school. My brain was on, all I want to do is have fun and make music. I fucking hate going to these stupid classes I don't care about. I didn't care about film anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. My parents told me they wouldn't help me with an apartment if I was going to community college, because the whole reason why they were paying for my apartment is because I was going to university, because they obviously, as a parent, you want your child to go to university. So they were like, we ain't helping you if you're not going to go to the school that you're supposed to be going to. So I was like, okay, then I'll move home and I'll go to music school. That didn't happen either, but I did move home. So after 4 semesters living up north, I dropped out, transferred. Dropped out, that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it dropping out. I transferred to a community college near me, my hometown, and I started working at the mall because I had a lot of extra time. I was taking 2 classes because I literally could not get myself to do more than 2 classes. It was the executive dysfunction was crazy and I didn't give a shit about anything. All I wanted to do was sit in my room and make music. It was really bad. Yeah, I was taking 2 classes and I was working at Aeropostale. But basically I wanted to leave that job after 9 months because it was a whole thing. I didn't want to work there anymore. So one day, on one of my worst days working there, this lady comes in. She's not even lady, this girl walks in. She's literally probably my age now. Was probably the age she was then. She comes in. I'm the only person in the store. Only person working on a shipment day. I was alone for 6 hours. Had not had a break to eat. It was awful. She comes in, she works at my future employer's place, and she's like, you should apply for the supervisor position, same position you're in now, and I'm leaving, so you should come take my spot. You'll probably like it way more. She was right. I did like it way more. I got the job there. It was only a few doors down from where I was working. I was like, perfect. And they were paying me more. Perfect. So I start working there. It's great. I worked there for 9 months. Again. 9 months and 9 months. And it was great. I loved it. I loved everybody I worked with. That's how I met my boyfriend. I worked with his mom there. It was a great experience. I miss all my coworkers there. I still talk to them. Still talk to my old boss. She's great. Love all of those people. If you're watching this, I loved working with you guys. This has nothing to do with when I worked at that location in my hometown. We're talking about when I transfer to another location. So let's get to that. I worked there for 9 months, and then my parents get divorced. My parents get divorced, so I have to move. I move an hour away south to this wonderful city called Tempe, Arizona. All my friends live there, so I was like, yay, yay. And I was pretty sure I was gonna quit working at this company because I loved working with the people, but the company itself, I was like, ugh. So I was gonna quit, but then they were like, please work at our other location. They're like, we really need a supervisor. You can just transfer. It'll be easy. So I was like, you know what? It would be nice to just move and already have a job that I'm already good at and know everything about. So fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna take the transfer job. So I transfer. My first day. I'm like, I hate story times because I'm like, it's like you're talking about other people that are real people and they might watch this video, and it's like, there's literally no hard feelings to anybody that I talk about in this video. I don't care anymore. I quit that job like 3 months ago. I've done a lot of inner healing from the trauma I have. So this is not like hate towards anybody. This is literally just my experience. My first day, my store manager isn't even there, which I thought was crazy because I was like, if you just like hired this transfer, even if I already knew what I was doing, like I'm a new hire, like you should be there on my very first day to show me around. But she wasn't, and the person that was there was the assistant store manager. And I'm gonna talk very delicately about this person because I would really hate to ever offend them, but genuinely their performance and the way that they spoke to me and other people and acted in that store was wildly inappropriate. But I know that this person has gone through a lot that I can't even imagine, so I'm gonna talk about it very gently and delicately. So if you see me tiptoeing around details, I'm trying to be respectful. Okay. So this woman, it is very apparent to me that she is a past drug user. Whether she was on drugs then or not, you could tell this woman has done drugs for a long period of time. Let's just say it's very obvious that she's done drugs, and it's worn down her physical appearance. And she wasn't like, it's not that she wasn't all the way there, but she would run herself in circles. Everything she would say, she would run herself in circles, and she'd say the same thing over and over again. And I had already been working at this job now for almost a year. And she had only been working for the company for 2 months, and she was a higher position than I was. So I was really not in the mood for somebody who clearly is not okay and has barely any knowledge of this position and job to be telling me what to do, especially since my store manager is nowhere to be found on this, my very first day. She just kept talking to me like I was stupid and like telling me, I don't know if you're gonna be able to wear that because the dress code. I'm like, girl, I've been following this dress code for like 10, 11 months, and you're gonna tell me whether or not I'm following dress code when you barely even know the company policy. So that shit was annoying me. But I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna try to hold together. She drives me insane my whole entire first day. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm gonna quit in a couple months. This is just a transfer job. This is just like a transitional job. I'm gonna find another job, and it's literally not even gonna matter. I remember getting into my mom's car because she had to pick me up. Oh no. Actually, no, my mom. So the mall I worked at, it's infamous in Arizona for being like, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Let's go put this somewhere else. Anyway, so this mall was notorious for being very unsafe. They had a shooting like 2 months before I started working there. So my mom was concerned. They're also known for sex trafficking and stuff. So my mom was like, I'm gonna be in the parking lot since you're getting off work at like 9 or 10 p.m. Like, I'm gonna be in the parking lot to watch you go to your car. She's real for that. I remember getting to my mom's car after my first shift being like, that was actually crazy. Like, I've literally never experienced anything like that. I can't even like remember what happened because it was just so long ago, and I'm like, I just remember it being god awful. So then for the next 6 months I'm working there, hating my life because my store manager is super hard to read, and you just could never tell if she fucking hated you or not. Like, she's so stone cold, which I do not blame her for. It's a part of where she's from, but it was so hard to read her that I was just constantly on edge and like walking on eggshells and like being scared. So it's either have a shift with my store manager and feel scared, or have a shift with my assistant store manager and feel the most annoyed I've ever felt in my entire life, because she would literally leave all of her work for me to do because she would be dozing off in the corner like this. It would take her hours to finish one project, and so everything that she had to do would get put onto me. And then there was only one other manager that I could handle, and she was amazing, blessing, angel, beautiful. She was an older woman, she's like my mom's age, and I loved working with her, but I was working with her like 25% of the time. So I'm like, fuck, like I fucking hate working here. Like, this is miserable. All the work is being put on me, or if it's not being put on me, I'm listening to my store manager and she scares the shit out of me. Or I get to hang out with the other supervisor and kiki it up, but that's like 3 days out of the week. So I really just was not doing well. And this lady, we'll call her Haley. Haley was the assistant store manager, the one that was a drug addict. And I felt like for those 6 months going into summer were so long because it was constantly her fucking up and acting like she was on drugs, and then doubling down and trying to explain to us that she's not on drugs and that withdrawals were making her act like she was on drugs. And we were kind of all just like, what are you talking about? Can you please just do your job? We just want you to do your fucking job. And it was this constant cycle of her fucking shit up and then like not taking responsibility and then like blaming it on withdrawals. It's like, whether you're on drugs or not, you're fucking acting like you're on drugs. So if you need a second to go sit in the back, if you need to go home, like go home. But stop wasting our time and putting all of your work on us. Like, it was just very frustrating. And finally, 4th of July comes around. She had started getting worse around this time because she had a death in the family, and her, I'm gonna be honest, her boyfriend had just gotten out of prison, like, not that long ago, so things for her were rough. This is a Kenny edit. Just want to put this out there also. This woman was telling me all of this. I wasn't just, like, assuming these things and speaking on behalf of her life. I was told very in-depth, inappropriate stories about this woman's life that what I'm saying doesn't even scratch the surface, and it's from the horse's mouth. I think that's the saying, hopefully. So don't cancel me, please. So she was coming to work and acting like a psychopath. Like, she'd be talking to customers and she'd be like over the screen, or she'd be like all up in their face and then like going around in circles with her words, or not making any sense and slurring her words, or she would run into fixtures, like fully acting like she was on drugs. There was probably at least 5 separate occasions where customers would come up to me and other associates and managers and ask us if she was on drugs. And we couldn't say, yeah. All we could do was say, go sit in the back and drink some water. And then she comes back out, she's acting the goddamn fucking same. And no one in the company is doing anything about it. I had my own situations with her that they knew about, and nobody had done anything about it. So finally 4th of July comes around. This is the worst day. She literally busts her head open on a fixture. She's literally incoherent with a whole line of people at the register not being able to read or talk to people. She's literally like fent folding in the store. Not like fully on the ground, but like about to make it there. And it's like me and one other girl. And I'm a manager and the other manager's tweaking. So I'm like, it's 4th of fucking July. Every holiday at this company was crazy because they always had deals going on, because I worked at a fucking discount store, basically. They wouldn't admit it was a discount store, but it was a fucking discount store. So they always had deals going on, and people would go crazy every holiday. So, of course, it's busy as fuck. People are asking me if she's on drugs. People are asking my associates if she's on drugs. Somebody calls me after we close to ask again if she was on drugs, and called her on the work phone being like, was this the lady I talked to earlier? Are you on drugs? Like, it was a whole fucking thing. Basically, that customer, I believe, reported her to HR, and I never saw her again. And then, so I basically took on the role of ASM. My store manager and my other floor supervisor quit. Like, 2 months later, both of them are gone. So it's literally just me. If you've never worked in retail, here's the hierarchy for retail managers, which doesn't really matter and is different for every store, but this is what it was like at my store. Store manager, that's the manager of the entire store. That's who you go to when you're like, can I talk to the boss? Assistant store manager, you're their assistant, but you're still doing like a lot of the work, and you still like have a lot of privileges. And you get paid a lot, like the store manager, except you're not salary. And then there's floor supervisors. So floor supervisors are supposed to be, you guessed it, fucking floor supervisors. So I'm part-time at this point. So everyone quits or basically gets fired or on probation for that 4th of July incident, and everybody else quits. So I'm the only manager. I'm part-time at this point still because I had just graduated college. So I was going to school most of the time. And I go from working like 25 hours a week to 59, 60 hours, 70 hours, sometimes 50-hour weeks. Just depends on who's gonna help me from another store. I'm doing that for a good month and a half, 2 months. I'm basically running a store all by myself. Yes, there are managers flying out from other places, driving out from other places to help me, but at the end of the day, it's my store. Like, I'm running it by myself. No one from district is here to help me. It was such a huge workload. Like, literally anything that you can think of that is part of being a retail store manager, I was fucking doing by myself while being told by other people that I'm not good enough to be doing it and that I shouldn't be doing it, while being forced to do it because nobody else was there. I'm like coming home crying after like 12-hour days. I'd be working open to close, and then maybe once in a while somebody would come help me. And it was wearing away at my mental health so bad because it wasn't even like just a lot of work, but I also was being treated like fucking shit. And anytime anything went wrong, it was on me because there was no one else to blame. But meanwhile, you guys are still having me on your payrolls part-time, and you're only paying me as a part-time manager, but you're forcing me to work 100-hour paychecks. And this went on for 2 months. 100-hour paychecks, open to closing shifts, day after day, managing an entire store by myself, and I'm still considered part-time, and I'm still only getting paid $17 an hour. You're actually hilarious. I'm pissed off, and then we finally get a store manager, and this is when it starts going downhill. And this is no hate to that store manager that finally came in after me being alone for like a month and a half, 2 months. No hate to her, because she really was just like thrown into all this, but like it really started to go even worse after she got there. Like, everything was bad because I was so stressed out because I'm like trying to teach her stuff because I literally know everything at this point because I'm being forced to do everything. I'm trying to teach my own manager who's getting paid more than I am, while also training an entire new group of people that she just hired as soon as she came in, so because people kept quitting because of how awful it was, while doing every single duty I was already doing before, and now more, because now I'm having to pick up after what she's not able to do yet. So it's like, I'm on the verge of a breakdown every day. I had multiple breakdowns, and then here's where it gets juicy. So there's this woman that works at another store that wasn't that far from my store, and she had been known for being like a terrible person. Like, she treats people like shit. She's not a very nice person. She's very blunt and straightforward, and that's fine, but don't be a bitch. She always wanted to like take control of the store for me, but I was like, no, you have your own store. Like, I can figure this out on my own. I'm doing just fine. I'm getting all the help I need from you and your employees and other people's employees. Like, I don't need any extra fucking butting in and meddling and making my life more difficult than it already has to be. But then she would be complaining that her life was hard because she had a district visit that week. Meanwhile, you have a full set of employees that are incredible, amazing, and great, and that can help you whenever you need, and you're training one person, and you're mad at me for whatever. It's a fucking mess in there. It's terrible in there. Everybody, a bunch of random fucking bitches keep coming in and fucking out my floor set that I just did all by myself because they want it their way, and then I have to change it again the next week because the next holiday is coming up, and then it's all fucking thing, and you're stressed out. You're stressed out, bitch! Anyway. So she would piss me off all the fucking time because she'd always be like, you think you have it hard? I'm running this store, like, oh, I'm like, your store makes the most money out of everyone in our fucking state. Like, you have nothing to worry about. I have the worst store in the state, and I'm running it by myself, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm constantly being shit on for doing things wrong when it's not even my fucking job and I'm not even getting paid to do it. At least your salary, you're probably making like 10 times more than I'm fucking making. And then finally this new store manager comes. She gets trained by her. So she stays at the other store for a week, and then she comes over to ours to start working. This new store manager goes up to me and she's like, I gotta talk to you about something. You know, I've really liked working with you, but I gotta let you know, let's say the other store manager at the other store, her name is Edna. Let's say her name is Edna, right? Edna told me to tell you that you need to start wearing a bra to work. And this is in quotes, by the way. It's probably a little off from the way she said it, because it's been 4 months, but this is my attempt at a direct quote. Edna told me to tell you that you need to wear a bra to work. And I don't necessarily agree with that because I've never noticed, and I thought it was very inappropriate of her to say that. But I was told to talk to you about it, so here I am talking to you about it. Feel free to let me know how it makes you feel. I don't think it was okay for her to put me in this position, but I am also new here and I don't know what the policy is, and if that is the policy, then I need to enforce it. Blah, 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 right? She's trying to be respectful about it because she also thinks it's fucking insane. Bitch, look at my bitties. Okay, they're pretty alright, but they are not noticeable when I'm dressed like this. This is literally how I would dress to work. Say this is a cardigan and this is a button-up. Fuck you! And layering was literally in the dress code, so I was layering. Like, I wasn't wearing anything crazy. Basically, she tells me that, right? And we're both like, no, I'm like, huh? She's, first of all, staring at my tits and admitting it to another manager, and then making that other manager talk to me about my private body parts and what I can and can't wear as underwear to work. Let me give you some examples of how I dressed at work, because this really grinds my gears, guys. Here are some examples of how I dressed at work, okay? Really not that bad. So it just escalates from there. She starts calling her every week, every other day, to ask if she's talked to me about wearing a bra yet. So finally, I'm like, I'm about to report her. Because now she's having private conversations, mind you, on her cell phone about another employee that doesn't even work for her from a different store who's already under immense pressure with no pay. Hey guys, I'm remembering some details that I wanted to add. I was not the only person that she did this to. There was a new manager at the store like 45 minutes away from all of us, and she would do the same fucking thing about her. So there was a week where we had district visits and all of our like district managers came, and it was a big fucking deal. And we all took, I can't believe I forgot this detail, bro. We all took photos with the district managers. But I have photos from this day of what I wore that day. So I'll put a picture here of what I wore that day when the district managers came. They took pictures with us and posted it on our like work social media. They have like their own website to upload photos of like holidays at work and stuff. And they posted it as a collage on there of all the stores in Arizona with the district managers like posing. And she took screenshots of that new store manager from the store that's 45 minutes away. And because she was wearing like, I guess a kid's t-shirt, it was the brand that we worked for, but it was a kid's t-shirt because some of the girls, including me, were small enough to fit into the boys' t-shirts, and the boys' t-shirts were always cuter than the girls' t-shirts, so we would wear them. But she knew because she'd been working at this fucking store for like 15 years or whatever the fuck. So she screenshots this picture of me and this other woman who she has literally never met, by the way. Like, zooms in on it and talks about my tits, and then talks about how this other woman is wearing a boy's t-shirt and she really must be tiny if she's wearing a boy's t-shirt, and starts talking about like our bodies and what we're wearing. About your fellow employees on a public post on the work social media, you're taking screenshots and calling other managers, my manager, to gossip about our bodies and what we're wearing. Can't believe I forgot that detail. That really grinded my gears. So I'm not the only person she did this to. I'm not fucking delusional, I promise. This woman is just deeply insecure and crazy. And that screenshot that I included was her trying to call my manager to talk about the conversation she had with me. She wanted my manager to lie to HR and say that it was my manager's idea to have that conversation with me and not her. Because she didn't know I had already gone to HR and I had already reported her. Like, why would this random woman who's never met me have this idea to talk to me about wearing a bra at work? Like, before we barely even know each other. Like, literally makes no sense. So she's a fucking liar, and she's a fucking weirdo, and she's a fucking pervert, and she's fucking insecure. And your favorite activity is talking about her tits. That's literally your favorite activity, is like, you're gay.
You are gay.
Every person I told this story to, especially when it was more fresh and I had more details, like, in my memory, told me that she sounded like a fucking pervert. It's not just, oh, like, you're showing too much cleavage. I wasn't showing cleavage. She was staring at my fucking tits. It's already getting bad. She's already calling every other day. I'm slowly getting more and more fed up. But first I have to tell HR, right? So I go to HR. I don't know if this is against the law, but I told them I am facing sexual harassment behind my back. By the way, the amount, before you're like, well, did she talk to you about it? No. There were literally countless opportunities for this woman. She saw me in person like 2 or 3 times where she could have sat me down and been like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but this is a concern I have. This is why ABCD. Instead of being a fucking adult and coming to me about my own body and having a private, respectful conversation about something that she's concerned about, she went to my boss and did not mention it to me one single time, and told my store manager, who's a woman, that she needs to go to my district manager, who's a man, and have him decide what to do about it. This fully grown ass woman can't even talk to me, another woman, face to face about my sexual body parts and the dress code policy, which, by the way, it was never in dress code policy. HR looked into it, my boss looked into it, I looked into it. It wasn't in the fucking policy to wear a bra. Fuck you. And then she's like, well, if it's not in the policy, maybe we should put it in the policy. We gotta talk to HR. We gotta talk to the district manager. And still, after all these conversations with other people, she has not once talked to fucking me. Do you know how fast the situation could have been resolved if she had just come to me about this conversation? Don't hear a peep out of her again. I don't know if they spoke to her or what, but she stopped calling about my tits after that. So that was when the Titanic first got hit by the iceberg. That was for sure when the Titanic first got hit. So whether you guys think that's sexual harassment or not, it was so dehumanizing for me to work for a company that long. It had been a year and a half of working with this company. Not only is this woman trying to meddle in my fucking job, but also, like, is so passionate about my undergarments and what I wear on my sexual organs that she is talking to everybody but me about it, when this should be a private, respectful conversation, especially if you're going to talk about somebody's underwear. Like, that's fucking weird to not have like, everyone I talked to about this thought it was crazy. Even my manager, who had to tell me that, thought it was crazy and supported me reporting her. I don't have a life. I'm not seeing my friends anymore. I have no, like, personality or light inside of me. I had no, like, creative drive to make music. Like, it literally killed the light inside me. I'd be getting nasty emails every Monday about something that was bad or wrong when I'm literally trying to run a store by myself while getting paid like fucking crap and not being thanked for any of it. And when they did thank me, you know what they gave me? Instead of a fucking promotion, they gave me their currency to buy their clothes. So, like, when I worked at, I'm not going to tell you what it's called because I don't have to tell you the name of the company, but, like, I'll give an example. When I worked at Culver's, we would get something called, like, Culver's Bucks or something. I forgot what they were called, but, like, it's fake money that, like, Monopoly money that you can use to get, like, rewards and stuff at work. So they're giving me fake money to buy more of their clothes. They're not even giving me real fucking money that I could, like, use to provide for myself, to move out of my mom's apartment. No, they're giving me more of their money to buy their clothes when I've been working there for a year and a half and I have a closet full of their clothes. Their way of thanking me, instead of giving me the promotion that I deserved, was letting me buy more of their clothes. It was insanity. And the biggest, like, worst part about it was that the position, like, the ASM position is what I wanted, right? I don't want to be a store manager. That's, like, a lot of responsibility. I'm basically already doing the store manager job, and it fucking sucks. So, like, ASM, like, I'm basically already an ASM. I'm doing everything that an ASM does. Like, I want that job. I've been working hard. Like, I deserve it. Every other manager, my old boss, the managers that came from out of state, every other manager except for Edna is telling me that I deserve to be ASM. And the only reason why I couldn't get that promotion was because Haley, as referenced back to earlier, after her incident and she got put on probation, she was not technically fired. So for 4 whole months, she did not work or step foot in that store, but she was still technically holding that position. Meanwhile, I am doing all of her fucking work. For 4 fucking months, I am doing this girl's job, and she is getting paid nothing because she's not coming to work, but she holds that title. Do you realize how fucking insane that is? Like, someone is literally there doing your job for you. No one's giving me the compensation, the title. I could have been getting health insurance, like, months before I actually did. It was fucking insane. So that's why I wasn't getting promoted. So this whole time I'm working so hard and showing them that I am capable and that they need to promote me. And everyone except for evil Edna is telling me that I deserve to be promoted, and I'm not. I felt like I was losing my fucking mind. I thought I was spiraling out. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand what I was doing to make everyone treat me like this and to put me in this horrible position. And then to constantly be like, I'm so sorry you're put in this position. And then, like, yell at me when something's wrong. And finally, almost a month into this new manager being there, she helps me get a promotion. The promotion, let's backtrack. I'm a part-time floor supervisor. I want to be a full-time assistant store manager because at this point, I've already been acting assistant store manager for the promotion they give me? Full-time floor supervisor. And the only reason they gave me full-time is because I was already working full-time. And they had to legally put me as full-time to give me health insurance because they were already forcing me to work full-time when they didn't even give me full-time. It was literally so fucking angering. And then I finally found out that Haley's finally fired officially. And they still did not make me ASM. And we're looking for ASMs when there's someone there who is doing the ASM job, who knows everything about operations in that store, who knows and has trained the entire team. You have someone there. And so when they promoted me, they're like, oh, like, it's gonna take a while because it's gonna come out of the company's pocket, $8,000 out of the company's pocket to give you health insurance. Bitch, fuck you. You owe me $8,000. Like, fuck you. I don't care that it's taking money out of your multi-billion-dollar company to give me health insurance. Fuck you. So they give me the promotion, and I'm still just like, this is so fucked up. Like, ain't no way y'all only gave me like a pity promotion. Making me full-time when I'm working over full-time and calling that a promotion is evil mindset. Then my grandpa passes away. And I knew a couple days before that my grandpa was going to pass away because my grandpa had been struggling with cancer for the past couple years, and the past couple months leading up to it were pretty bad. He was in the hospital a lot, and then the last week he was just like fully in the hospital and couldn't really do anything. So my dad told me like a couple days before, like, it's probably only a matter of hours, 2 weeks now. So I had let my team know, like, we finally promoted somebody to be another supervisor, and then we finally got a store manager. So I had 2 other managers. Was I still doing everything with the help of the other supervisor, which we'll call the other supervisor that got promoted Marnie. Marnie, love you. If you're watching this video ever, love you. You were such a huge help to me. You were so supportive of me and still so kind to like check up on me here and there. Like, I am thankful that you were there. You were the only person that got me through. You and my old boss and her employees that came to help me are the only people that really made me feel helped. Like, thank you. She got promoted to supervisor. She was a regular associate, but we promoted her, and then I had a store manager. So I wasn't like completely alone. So I let them know, like, hey, I'm probably gonna be abruptly calling out at some point this week because my grandpa's dying. Like, I'll keep you guys updated. And then I take the next day off, or I have the next day off. It's looking bad, and I'm like, okay guys, like, it's not looking good. I'm letting them know, I'm keeping them updated. And then I go out that night, I get fucked up with my friends, try to take my mind off of it. It's my day off work, whatever. I wake up the next day and my dad calls me, and my grandpa had passed away at 12:22 a.m., which is an angel number. Obviously it's very sad, like, I could just sit here and cry, but I'm not going to. I already cried earlier today about it, so I'm not gonna cry again. Yeah, so I had let them know, like, my grandpa died. Like, I still went to work on Sunday night to close so that Marnie wouldn't have to open and close, because Marnie and I were there for each other. Even though my grandpa died, I still closed so she wouldn't have to open and close. And I take Monday off, or I switch shifts with somebody, so it's not even like taking it off, I just switched to somebody. And then I had Tuesday and Wednesday off or something like that. And I go back to work that next Thursday, I believe. And the store, this is like the beginning of holiday season. So we are 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, which means Black Friday. Black Friday is hell. The store, all of the shipment we had gotten on that Friday when I took the day off because I knew my grandpa was gonna die, was still there. Half the boxes weren't done from a week ago. Everything was still in the back on Baker's racks, full. Nothing was put out. The floor set was fucked up. Nothing in the office was done. I was on the verge of a mental breakdown. I was like, I'm gone for 6 days, maybe 5 days, and you guys are like waiting for me to come back to do shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even have the mental capacity to do shit right now. The least you could have done was taken a weight off my load. And so that pissed me off. And then this is what got me. And if my old boss, we'll call her, my old store manager, like the last store manager we had, we'll call her Lindsay. Lindsay, if you're ever watching this, like, this is no hate to you. You got thrown into this, and I think you really were just trying to do the best you can to treat everybody equally, which is why you said this to me, so that I was being held to the same standards as the associates. But the timing was fucking terrible. Never in my life has somebody texted me something so stupid. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Like, to get this text as, like, I'm literally grieving my dead grandfather and have so much work on my fucking plate that it's actually disrespectful and, like, insane. Good morning. I don't even want to read this. It's literally traumatizing. Good morning. I'm a bit concerned with your time and attendance patterns. I've been at the store for a month and a half, and you have already been sick 3 times. The first time, I actually was really sick, and it was the first time I'd gotten sick all year. I think the second time, was because I was still sick, and they were overworking me so much that once, like, November rolled around, I started to keep getting sick because my body was so worn down from working on my feet so much that like, and my mental health was so bad that like my body was literally breaking down. Like I was getting sick like every other week. So that pissed me off too, because they knew that they were overworking me and making me sick. So that pissed me off. You've already been sick 3 times. That was ridiculous. The first time I believe you left early one day and then took the next day off and then came in late the following day. Then about a week later you mentioned that you weren't feeling well again. And this is all like as I'm working more hours than she is. So she's store manager at this point, and she's supposed to be working 40 hours a week, and she had just gotten called out for not working 40 hours a week and working like 38 and not working enough hours, and got called out for making me work too many hours. So at this time, I'm leaving early and coming in late because I'm already over 40 hours a week, because I'm working more hours than she is, because she has children and can't be there 6 days a week, but I was being forced to be there 6 to 7 days a week. No pun intended. The leaving early and the getting there late was literally so that like I wasn't overworking myself, because I was overworking myself. I believe that is a time, this doesn't make any sense, where I needed to leave and said that you could rest your head in the office because I couldn't stay. Then with your family emergency, you had nearly 8 days off in a row. That wasn't even true. It was like 5 days off in a row, and like 3 of them were days that I was just scheduled not to work. So I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Except for Sunday when you did a 48, which is the day that I said that I closed so that Marnie wouldn't have to do an open to close, because duh. I bring this up because I haven't been there long and there has been a lot going on with you. Well, girl, you stepped into a shit show, and I was already at my breaking point by the time you got there. So yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. Is everything okay? I worry about the examples that we're setting.
Bruh.
Especially when I need to hold everyone accountable. Do you need us to find additional coverage for future shifts? So I understand the intent behind that. Like, she's just trying to hold us all to the same standard, because we had been like holding other people accountable the past couple weeks for attendance and stuff. So I get that she's just trying to like relay the message to me that like that doesn't just go for like younger associates, like that goes for managers as well. And I respect that. But the timing, lady. My grandpa died not even a week ago, and this is my first day technically back at work. And I've been there for like an hour. I was like, girl, you could have just fucking said this to me in person. So that sent me into a absolute fucking spiral, because 90% of what she said wasn't even fucking true or correct or backed up by the fact that you guys are overworking the fuck out of me and treating me like shit. I had an absolute breakdown. I didn't even get through halfway through reading that text before I had a breakdown. And I FaceTime my mom, and I'm just like convulsing, like like having a panic attack on the floor of the stockroom at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the fucking morning, because these people are treating me like the bottom of their fucking shoe, and I actually have personal stuff. I actually have a fucking life, and there's actually personal stuff going on in my life. And this whole year I've put off my problems and my worries and my health for you guys, hoping that I'd get a promotion that I deserve. I don't know where I'm going with this. They just make me feel like the dumbest motherfucker on earth, and to waste a year of my life, basically. I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's like, quit. You know what you gotta do. You gotta take after your mom. Like, you just gotta say, fuck them, because fuck them! Like, I think companies just don't realize. You wonder why your specific company and your specific store has such a terrible turnover for employees, but this is how you treat them, and then you won't even like give people the promotions that they actually deserve, people that you don't even have to train that are already doing the job. You'd rather hire somebody who has no idea what the fuck they're doing than promote somebody who actually deserves it and literally drive them up a fucking wall till they're literally spiraling out, panic attack on your floor. You'd rather have that happen than just promote the person that deserves it. Like, called my boyfriend, told him what was happening. My Marnie came in for her shift so she could be the manager on duty so I could leave. I left my keys in the safe. I wrote my letter of resignation telling them they don't give a shit about my physical or mental health. I sent a text, which I will read. I said, "Hello, unfortunately I have submitted my resignation letter to HR and will no longer be working with blank. This company has worn me down and taken advantage of me to the point where I'm continually falling ill with the death of my... continually falling ill. And with the death of my grandfather, I have very poor mental health and don't think I am equipped to handle the pressure of the store. I have felt this way for months on end and it has not seemed to improve, so I'm going to part ways and go spend time with my dad in Florida to grieve and prioritize my mental and physical health. I'm sure this is very frustrating and disappointing, and I apologize for the setbacks this may bring, but I have put this job over my own health for too long and can no longer do so. I will not be coming in for tomorrow or any future shifts. And I texted my old boss from the store I worked at originally, who I love, and she supported me and understood, and I never set foot in that store again. I've been wanting to do a video about this for a while, but I didn't know how because they kind of scare me, like, to be honest with you. That's a big reason why I didn't quit for a long time and why I worked my fucking butt off for no reason, is because they scared me. And I'm, like, scared they're, like, still gonna sue me, even though I didn't even fucking name names at all. And I just explained my own personal experience. I've just been scared, and I wanted to give it some time to, like, settle. And I think it's been enough time, especially because literally almost everyone on that poll told me to make a story time about this. So, yeah. It goes more in depth than that, but I've kind of blocked out a lot of it from my memory. And now when I go into stores and I see, like, the workers being managerial or something, I'm just like, oh my god, you're telling them to change the floor set. I'm so scared! I'm just really glad that I did it. I still don't regret it. I'm unemployed as fuck, and I still don't regret it. I wish I could do it a million times over. I have never felt more like myself. I feel so much more myself than I did when I was working there. Like, I had no creative inspiration because they were literally suppressing my entire soul. Be somewhere where you feel wanted and where you feel like you can be successful, because I regret how much time I spent there. I don't regret the people that I met and the choices that I made. I feel like I was a good manager, and I made a lot of connections with a lot of people working for that company, and I still talk to those people to this day. Do what makes you happy. Right now, vlogging and looking for jobs is what makes me happy. I would take that any day over being yelled at by some old white man about his sales numbers that have nothing to do with me ever again. But Lord knows I'll probably be experiencing that again soon. So thank you guys so much for watching this story time. Let me know if you want me to do more story times. This is my first one, like, ever, and I feel like I'm not the best storyteller because I kind of go all over the place and I get heated and I get blow up, and I'm not very chronological and good at telling stories. So maybe I'm not meant for the storyteller life. I don't know. You guys tell me. Anyways, love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and thanks to everyone who voted on that poll and let me know that I should make this video because I've been wanting to for a while. So stay tuned for the next video. I am posting a vlog soon.